everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Wild Wednesdays Live, presented by the Quilt Craft and Sewing Festival. I'm Raylene, and I'm going to be your host this week. Before we get started, we always have to go through the laundry list of things we want to make you aware of. First of all, though, we want to let you know that all the vendors that are actually demonstrating today are offering 20% off right after the show until midnight tomorrow night, Thursday night. So if you see something you like, you don't want to hesitate. You want to jump on there, get that ordered so you get that extra special. Now, you can find all of today's vendors really easy by going to the Quilt Craft and Sew Mall. Click on the link right below the Wild Wednesday logo, and that will take you right to today's vendors. And it also will indicate what the sale price was and all that good stuff. Now, don't forget, if you ever miss a live show, you can check us out on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Quilt Craft Sew Mall. There you're going to find all the past shows, including one from this week, so you never have to miss anything. Now, I know everybody's been real excited about the giveaways. We've had lots of people win a lot of great prizes. So today is no exception. We've got some more great giveaways that we're going to tell you about later. But I want to mention that everything we're giving away is being donated by our vendors to make the show more fun for you guys. So we really do appreciate them. So be sure and listen later in the show for that secret phrase that you're going to want to type into the comments. And we always do like to remind you that, our show streams live through the internet. So we're very reliant on each individual vendor's internet connection. And sometimes we have issues. We actually are having one right now with one of our vendors, which we're hoping we get resolved before the show is over. But, occasionally we get going really good. And then all of a sudden we have sound issues. Again, everybody remembers a few weeks ago, right before Linda went on, we had a horrible storm and that knocked her out. So if at any time that happens, we're always going to reschedule them for another program. And if it's so bad that you just can't hear them, we're going to interrupt in them. We're going to cut them off. And again, we'll reschedule them for a later date. Okay, let's see what else we need to talk about here. Okay, well, to start with, I do want to let you know, speaking of all those internet problems, I know a lot of you guys were excited that Deb from Easy Piecing was going to be here today, but she lives in a very remote area and could not get connected. So we're going to get her rescheduled and we'll have her on at a later date. And also, today's just been one of those days. We're having some weather here in the southern states. So we did have Suzanne from Calico Cupboard scheduled to be our first person today, but she is also having some issues. But again, we're hoping that we get that resolved and she'll jump in a little bit later. Our tech guy is watching for her. But in the meantime, we kind of have a special day today because Beth, my co-host from the Fabric Chicks Creative Oasis, she's going to actually do a couple of interviews with some pretty well-known and pretty renowned quilt designers in our industry. So, Beth, are you there?
Hello, hi there,
Beth.
Lily.
Hey.
Wait, I'm so excited. I know it was last minute, but we've got Eleanor Peace Bailey and Linda McGehee to tell us about some upcoming classes. So it's kind of exciting.
I'm very excited. So I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can get going. Who are you going to start with so we know who to bring into the studio?
Let's start with Eleanor.
All right, here you go.
All right, Eleanor, are you there?
I am here.
Perfect.
I plead that I've been watching the inauguration, and I can't get my head around anything else. So here I am. I came downstairs all excited, and I'm so excited. I'm really thrilled to be able to watch that. So I have been a friend of Beth's for longer than she would like to admit, but I think I knew her in utero.
Yes.
So yeah.
Longer than I've known
myself.
My
business partner for a number of years. And I really love her. And I'm glad that she looks beautiful today, since I don't look myself, my own beautiful, which is not hers, but then, who can be Barbie but her? So I really, really get a wonderful kick out of being involved with her, no matter what the circumstances. And she brought up the idea that maybe once a month we could do a class. And her definition of that class struck me as very imaginative. What we wanted to do was to have a theme each month. And then I would make a whole bunch of stuff. And what we would talk about is taking a pattern. I've got lots of old patterns. As I'm old, the patterns are old, and revisiting and seeing if we can't just regenerate some new ideas attached to the patterns or inspired by the patterns. The first one that we did, which was in the last week, we did the Tumbling Angel pattern, and it was a hoot. I really, really enjoyed showing all the things that I had made. It was I got to show off all kinds of stuff, and I think I made about a dozen different objects so that everybody could see and see how I screwed around with my own stuff. So I believe that I just use the Tumbling Angel as a jumping off spot. We did paper doll. We did a table runner and a pillow and applique, and we talked about color, and we talked about all kinds of different things. So that's what we did the last time. Now I've decided that my theme is going to be houses. I've got a few patterns, mostly small quilt patterns of houses, but I decided, how could I make them dimensional? How could I have dolls holding houses or houses holding dolls? It didn't really make any difference which way it went. I want to do paper dolls again because I love doing them. They're quick, they're easy, and they're fun to send out to people who need a little attention. And heaven knows we have a lot of them. As a matter of fact, my sister and I were just spending some time doing a note to a lady who's just joined our congregation and is starting cancer treatment. And she has a birthday coming up just about the same time. And she's just moved into the ward, so she doesn't know everybody. So Muff and I decided to make cards and send the cards. And part of what I did, I have learned from my experience with color and with what you can do on a piece of paper that, I don't know, that just makes it different, makes it feel like somebody spent some time thinking about you. So this is the house that I'm going to do some jumping off of. This is one of the houses. It's done on, I have trouble with direction on this.
I know, it's always the opposite direction of what you think it should be. There
Right.
you go.
So this is the house. Yeah, as you can see, it's got all kinds of different fabric on it. It even has, this is a greeting, not a greeting card. Come on, Eleanor. Oh, there it is. This is a playing card. And so it's paper. You can do almost anything if you're just going to hang it up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to square up. In fact, I avoid anything that has points that I actually have to meet unless somebody else has done it. So this is just something to hang up and have fun with, and maybe put it up with your jewelry or your earrings or whatever. So that's going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to being inspired myself, because I think that a teacher who is uninspired can't very well inspire. So,
True story.
and I like to stay involved with the things that I'm doing. Beth and I both have a compulsion to work, and she is such a passionate shop owner. You don't meet a passionate shop owner very often, but this woman is totally committed to her incredible environment which she's created for people who come in. And she knows them, and she knows what's happening. If there's somebody who's hurting, Beth knows about it, and she lets them know that she's thinking about them. So it's a pleasure and an honor to work with Beth. And it's a pleasure and an honor to keep going, even though you're 80 years old. You still got something to say, right?
True.
You
Yes.
got something to talk about, which
Right.
is, that's helpful, because Beth someday is going to be 80 years old with something to say. And so I'll be around just above her. I hope above her, maybe below, encouraging her on to do wonderful things. which she's always been capable of.
Thank you. Thank you. So basically what we've got planned is to spend an evening with Eleanor creating and learning all different kinds of ways to manipulate a house pattern into dimensional, embellished, flat, all kinds of ideas.
Wearable. Yeah. I'm making earrings. I'm into earrings.
Right. So until shows can start again, we're trying to find different ways and different avenues to keep everybody involved and keep everybody inspired and keep everybody creating. I know. Look at, they said, don't cry, Beth. Okay, I won't. I know. No, I love you, Eleanor, and we will see you. The class will be February 10th. So if you're interested in signing up, you can go to through the Quilt Craft and Sew Mall website. You can find the Fabric Chicks website, and we have a list of classes there where you can sign up. All right.
Boy, I gotta get to work.
I know. Go use that imagination and come up with some great patterns for our class.
All righty then.
All right. Thank you
next
so
time
much.
I'll be dressed.
Well, I don't think being dressed is required. During COVID, you just have to show up. We don't care how.
Good thing.
Yes.
Love you, darling. Where's Linda? I'd love to say hi.
Okay. Oh, can you guys put Linda on at the same time? It's like a reunion here. Oops, she's got a black screen. I know she went to Best. Oh, there she is.
She is. Linda McGehee. The Linda McGehee. Oh, it's so good to see your sweet face. It hasn't changed at all.
Uh-oh. I think she's having problems with her internet.
Look what I have. And look who drew it.
Say it one more time, Linda.
I'm going to use.
Linda has a one-of-a-kind drawing by Eleanor.
Can you hear me? No.
I can hear her, but just vaguely.
And it's signed by. Whoops, wrong way.
Oh, I must have done it by Eleanor.
And
of course, I'll sign anything.
Yes, you did. The last time I saw you over at the Reno show a year and a half ago. So I'm there this year. But, you have all of these small pieces that would like to build into something. And the best way to build it, add a list that I'm going to be doing with. And February the 25th, which is a Wednesday. And I use corded piping in quilts, in piecing, in garments, in bags. And it just gives you the opportunity to take something that's perhaps this size and build it larger. Oh, here we go. Build it larger. For instance, this is an embroidery that a friend sent, and it didn't have much space around it. So I used tiny corded piping next to it to build the fabric so it's large enough for a pocket.
Right.
An embroidery on one side and the other. These are sewing embroideries that go along with the fabric. I've done garments that have 20 yards of corded piping in them. And I used to hand cut it and hand make it. This isn't quite 20 yards, but you can see how the corded piping going in between the seams, whoops, wrong side, going in between the seams really dresses just adds that little pizzazz. Making a quilt, this is a small quilt. You can see how the corded piping in between the binding really dresses everything up. So there.
I don't know.
What?
She keeps cutting out.
I thought that might be you calling. In some of the the panels, these are embroidery panels that you can see even from a distance. The typing is doing, it just brings out the color and everything from behind. Well, after doing, just ignore that. I'll try to have fun. When you're making it, it could be a cotton cord. Or it could be something that's a little bit smaller. This cord in the center of your fabric, which could be bias or crosswise grain, and then stitch. In this life, we used with a zipper foot, but there are available for all machines. These happen to be bananas, and you can see how deep the grooves are for smaller piping or for medium piping. So what happens is you put the cord in the groove and move the needle position over and stitch.
Uh-oh. I think that Linda's having a bunch of technical difficulties. I know that she went to Best Buy today and got a cord so she could hook up physically right to her modem, but I'm not sure. We'll have to reschedule and have her come back again. All right, Eleanor, do you have any final words?
Final words. Yeah.
Not that you're put on the spot or anything.
No, I never I can always talk. That's a problem. One of the things that I want to recommend is that you learn as many techniques from Linda as you can and then apply them into the work that you do. Even a doll can have a piping. I mean, it would be interesting, just a flat doll to put a piping around it. And she's showing you how to use like a bias or a straight or a cross grain fabric in order to make that insert. Everybody seems to feel like they need to do exactly what the teacher is doing. But I say, the teachers that have been alive in my life are like a flower garden, and I prefer to gather a bouquet. I'd really rather have a bouquet of experiences as far as learning different techniques is concerned and apply them to where I am. Linda was a tremendous influence on me, mostly because she's so cheerful and so positive. And I learned that from her, but I learned other things about marketing and the skill that she has in teaching her techniques, which are simple and small. Now, it's interesting because she has to travel with that stuff. And so you think about those things, what can you travel with? And another thing is she wears all her clothes. So you never lose an opportunity to see what Linda McGehee can do because she's always wearing them. And I think that is a great example, one that I have followed and been happy with. Another thing about Linda is that she's really upbeat. So as Beth tries to pull us together, which is what she has always done, always gathering, as she tries to pull us together and stumbles with the technology, because I think this is the problem that we are having, is that we don't have the technical geniuses around to make everything run smoothly. Be patient, because we're going to have, coming out of this mess that we're in, we're going to have a marvelous age of creative show and tell. What has been happening behind closed doors or in our limited situation is that a lot of people have made some gorgeous, wonderful stuff. And the time is coming for us to be able to show this stuff up. So get in line, man. Show and tell is going to be a mess. It's just going to be a mess. We're going to have marvelous things. So that's pretty much what I have to say about that.
All right. We had a special request. Do you have a quick poem you can do?
A quick poem.
A quick
Okay.
poem. Yep,
All
because our
right, all
time's
right.
up. Not that I
Ah,
put you on the spot or anything.
how about rescue me, dear, from the things that I fear, like the dishes from Saturday's troop, and the ghastly decay in the freezer today, and too much salt in the soup. Give me relief from the continual grief and the long lines I constantly stand in. The plumbing that leaks, the appliance that squeak, and the laundry that's lying in piles on, and the socks that don't match, and the colds that I catch, and the nitpicky mire that I sink in. Rescue me, please. I'm here on my knees, up to my neck and over my head in acute, ordinary disasters. That would be Flying Phoebe's poem. You know, she comes in and makes everything cool. I have a friend like that. She comes in and just organizes the heck out of my life. And then
We all need one of those.
Then I spend the week making chaos. She comes back in and orders it up.
Perfect.
Better than husband.
Well, I don't know. Don't say that too loud. They might be listening.
That's right. You have one.
All right, Eleanor. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for filling in for Linda. And we're going to get her internet fixed so that she can be on these shows without any interruptions.
Right on.
All right. Thank you.
And it'll be worth the wait.
Yes, always. Always. Thank you so much.
Love you.
Love you too. All right. Thank you for letting us have our little moment of being in the light. And we will see you guys next week.
Hey, Beth, before you go,
Yes.
How about remind everybody again when those classes are?
Eleanor's is February 10th from 5 to 7. And then Linda's is February 24th from 5 to 7. And you
Awesome.
can find, and you can find those on the Fabric Chicks website under classes.
Awesome.
Right.
Thanks so much for filling in with that today. It was great.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm sitting here like while these are going on and I'm like stressing out and laughing because we're just having all kinds of problems today. So the person who was scheduled to be here next has not been able to get on. So far we're missing yet another person, but we've got one of our other vendors who is ready to go. So let me see if we can get her in here. Lisa, are you there? Hey, Lisa.
I'm here.
Well, what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna have Lisa go ahead, and we're still trying to get a couple of those vendors that haven't been able to connect. We hope that we can get them connected before the show is over. But before we have Lisa start her demo, it's contest time, guys. So remember how it works. I'm gonna give you a special phrase. You're going to type that in the comments, but please only type it in one time. There's only one entry per person. So if you put it in a bunch of time, it just takes me longer to do the contest because I got to filter all those extras out. So in order to be eligible for one of the 5 great prizes today, you need to type in Wild January. Wild January. And again, please just do that one time. And now let's get over to Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Hi, we're so glad you're with us. I've been we do all these shows and we do the shows with the vendors, but most of the time we're all so busy that we really only get to see the people that are right on our row. So I've never really got to see Lisa's stuff. So I'm so excited that I finally get to see what she does with counted quilts. So take it away, Lisa.
Thanks. I'm excited that so I'm Lisa with Counted Quilts, designer and owner, and that is one of the things I wanted to start with today. The first thing I always ask as people who's walking down the aisle is, have you seen a counted quilt before? To which the answer, as I'm new, is still usually a counted what? So that's what we're going to go through today, is exactly what kind of quilts I make and how they go together. So when you open up a pattern for a counted quilt, you're going to see something like this, and I've blown it up for you. It's stripped and pieced. So this is, a counted quilt is a cute way and simple way to make a fun image style quilt without applique, without paper piecing, but just traditional straight seams, straight cutting, easy peasy. So when you open up a pattern, you're going to see a cutting table, something like this. It's going to have your colors and your yardage and then your strips. There's going to be 2 to 4 sizes of strips, depending on the design and the detail. We're going to take each color and cut the strips that it says. We are going to then go to our color coordinating strip charts. Again, these have been kind of blown up for you. You'll take that blue set of strips, your widest strips, and you're going to cut across, labeling as you go. They're all going to be alphabetically labeled, and they start with the longest length and work to the smallest. There's only going to be a few usually for the bigger sizes. And you're going to grab your next set of strips that you've cut, the yellow set matching the yellow table, and you're going to work your way down again, drawing each letter, marking with each letter as you go, longest to shortest. Then you're going to take your third set of strips, and you're going to cut these and label ABC, working again from longest to shortest. You can see the last two are the same size. That's not a mistake. The shaping in a counted quilt is done with half square triangles, and that too is done in the easy method of a quick corner or a trim and flip. So you're going to be drawing that sew line corner to corner and then placing it on a square of the same size or a larger square of bigger pieces. So those squares that you cut that are the same size are going to be small A's or larger B's. Again, you're just doing that sew line, and then you're going to trim and flip so that you've added a corner piece. Sometimes you're going to do two, make the little flying V's, making a point. So you're going to do that one at a time, trim and flip, and then sew on your second one, trim and flip. Occasionally, you will take one of those small A's and place it on top of a B piece. So we've pinned it like that. And then when you do your trim and flip, all these triangles line up. You'll have kind of that diagonal line working its way through. And that is how all this shaping occurs. You get this cute picture with just straight seams, straight cutting, half square triangles. So great for beginning quilters, first time moms, grandmas love to whip these out. Super easy. So once you've cut all your pieces and you've drawn your diagonal line on all your triangles, you are going to be flipped to the third page, which is what I call the map, which is a full page color image of the quilt you're working on. All the pieces are alphabetically labeled. So you're just going to go through row by row and create the picture. So we have our tractor here. We look at this one here. You can see right here the top row all the way across, one row done. Second time, we're going to add a small A. We're going to add a big B. And then we're going to piece on a square, piece on a rectangle. Second row done. Move down to the third. You're going to put two squares together. Put a small A on this one, piece those two together, one more time, third row done. And you're just going to work your way down through the image, piece by piece, row by row. Super simple. As we flip over to our next one, this is a new pattern. This is Gorilla. I just wanted to show, because some people ask, it can be stripped vertically or horizontally. So this Gorilla is stripped this way. We're going to do it whatever way gives you the biggest pieces and easiest shaping to do. So sometimes the quilt is pieced this way. Not only do the pieces change, but the quilt itself can change. So our little happy little sloth here is a landscape quilt top with the strips running vertically through his little hanging arms. Isn't that a fun new quilt? That one. And not only do I get versatile with the pictures and images, but I like to have fun with fabric. So this is a cute little polar bear, and he is actually made out of flannel. I love to back with soft fabric, but this one we actually made as a baby quilt out of flannel. And then to make that polar bear stand out, he is actually done in an ultra soft minky. I'm sorry, it's not the show and you can't come touch and feel him, but how fun for a little baby quilt to just have that soft, soft, soft. So whether you're using simple blenders and fabrics or flannels, it's really up to you. You can have a lot of fun with these quilts. You can also go the other way. I've done a lot of my sea creatures in rich batiks. This is the sea turtle. The mermaid is another fun one I've seen. Customers doing beautiful batik fabrics, and I have a new manta ray, which is another, a lot of the sea ones work really well with the batik fabrics. So that's really fun to see. And you may be looking at these and saying, cute, Lisa, but I'm not in baby mode, which is okay. I'm growing out of it too. My youngest are getting older. So the next thing you will see in the pattern is any pattern, there it is, the cover, that has the 3 sizes stamped on it. Will come with 2 additional pages in the back. And that is a smaller size and a larger size. And it's the same image, we just scaled it for you. So it's scaled down to what we call wall hanging, or up to what works as a great lap size. We'll talk about that a little later. But I do want to show how these tables work, because it's something customers have questions about sometimes. So when you open up one of these additional pages, you're going to see really similar charts. You're going to have a new cutting chart. That was this first one. That's got your colors and your how many strips to cut, because we've made it smaller or larger. So you're going to have smaller or larger strips. So you're going to use your new cutting table on that additional sheet. And then you'll notice instead of new charts, you only have chart tops. Not a mistake. People say, where are the pieces to cut? So what you're going to do is you're going to fold it under your nice color coordinated chart top, and you're going to place it on top of the original chart top. It should line up. It'll have the same letters. You're just going to slide it down. You have your new piece lengths. Again, you're going to sew largest to smallest. And then once you've done your first set of strips, you'll open it up, fold under the second set, place that on the original pattern. Again, it'll just line up, same letters, different lengths. Because you're cutting the same pieces, you're making the same picture. You'll open it up, you'll do it one more time. And you'll do your third table, and you just slide that right down. I use paper clips when I'm doing it so that they hold still and don't get off. If you are only planning on ever making that one quilt, that one size, you can cut them out and glue them on and not have to worry about it evermore. So that is the 3 sizes that are in the quilt, which is fun because, like I said, I know not everyone is in baby mode. So the 3 sizes add some versatility to the patterns. This is a popular one to do in the large size. Are my football patterns. This is the football bird. I think I have 10 different football mascots, not generic animals, everything from peewee to professional. People like to add borders. I made this one in the larger 48 size for my brother and bordered so he can sit and watch the game in his lap blanket. Another thing that people do is do a small size and then bring up borders. This is our happy camper. Very fun. And then we found some fun camping fabric, right? Really have a good time with. I love choosing fun fabrics. That helps me pick the colors that I end up using for the blenders inside the quilt. This one has some fun borders. So making lap quilts are great. Using those different sizes. Also the small size, which you can do just as a wall hanging, or again, what borders do for fabrics. We can. This is the small size. This is a 24 by 24. This one's a square. And then you can bring it up to what you would like a crib size to be with some fun borders, which is great fun. Not just the sizes that are in the pattern. Move this out of your way. But I've also started, as my kids have gotten older, making patterns that are actually set to be a twin size pattern. So these are the construction vehicles, which is 6 individual images, very simple trucks in one pattern to make a twin size quilt. That's for my 5-year-old who can name those all plus some, and is a popular favorite right now. We're also working on, flip to this side. This is a twin size single image. Somebody asked to see all of our fun jungle animals in one quilt, little elephant and leopard there. So I have some of those now. There are also other patterns that are just designed to be lap quilts. This is a new one of Rose, done with solidish blenders, which is a great fun one. And another one for those who sew for veterans. I wish I could hold this quilt up. This is the Eagle pattern. A great one for doing that lap size at 60 by 66. The Eagle with a patriotic border. That's a real fun one for people looking for different sizes, again, who aren't in baby mode. Speaking of our multiple images, another new thing we have been playing with is silhouettes. This is called Start to Finish. This is a runner one I made. I was a runner, and my preteen son is now running in a great lap blanket for teenagers. So we have started a few of those. They have a yoga and a snowboarder and this running one and a baseball one coming soon. So lots of big projects if you're entering that teenager phase and starting to do more of those. Or maybe you're going for something smaller. Maybe you want to start with a small project and see if you like this style, which is great. So here is just our little scarecrow wall hanging. Little pumpkins. Great for hanging on the wall in the fall. Another small project that we've done a few of is pillowcases. This is the motorcycle pillowcase, which does have instructions on how to turn it into the pillowcase and put on the edging. Along with, this is a shark pillowcase. It actually has a matching twin that has a large shark image, which is a great fun one to do patterns for. And I love custom orders, requests, suggestions. Most of my patterns have started from my family wanting. I actually started making a quilt for my mom, needed a particular bunny quilt and ready to go. Couldn't find one that she liked, so we invented one. I hope to be an Eleanor. I loved what she said about gathering all the skills you learn and making more quilts. I hope to do that one day. And then friends and sister-in-laws, and soon I was making images faster than I was having nieces and nephews need them. So these are quilts for grandmas, aunties, new moms. If this is your first project, you can totally make that baby blanket for your little one. There's so many things you can sew and make. So I have over 150 designs for you to look at. Go to that quiltcraftsewmall.com and click on Counted Quilts and come search through and see what we have. Here is another new one, very popular. Llamas right now. And even the quilting. Generally, I do outline quilting. Great for beginners. All my stuff is with a walking foot. If you've got that empty space, I'm learning fun, creative ways to fill that. So this llama has a zigzag going through, some extra lines in the cactus, all things you can do with a walking foot. So even the quilting doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can just see what you can do with your walking foot. This is another new one. I don't have a booth to hang all my new quilts in. Here's Frosty.
Those are all so awesome. Really
And
enjoyed
like I said,
seeing
150
them.
more to look at. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on today. I love the scarecrow. That was so adorable. I mean, I loved like 100 of them, but that one's the one that really stuck out in my mind.
All right, over 100 to go look at. So yes, go browse.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate you being here. So thank you so much. So remember, everybody, you want to go and make your purchases by midnight tomorrow night to save that extra 20%. And if you haven't already, it's not too late, but this is your last reminder you're going to get from me about the contest. Remember, Wild January is the phrase that pays for today. Okay, so we are still fighting like crazy behind the scenes, trying to get connected with people. And I tell you, we are having a heck of a day today. You just have to roll with it sometimes. At first, I was like really stressing, and now I'm just kind of laughing about it because I had just got word from Beth that we thought we had Linda's issue all corrected. So we are going to try again and have Beth. First, let me get Beth back in here. Hi, Beth.
Hi, how are you? Again.
Great. We're going to give another try to Linda. So I'm going to step out and let Ron bring Linda into the studio, and let's give this another go.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Oh, she's spinning. Doesn't look good.
Come on.
Oh, darn.
Come on. I got fingers are crossed. You know what I mean? Linda, can you hear me now?
I'm here.
Uh-oh. You're frozen again, Linda.
Can you hear me?
You know what I think it could be is that
Can
everybody's...
you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Linda. Go ahead. So Linda's going to tell us about the piping wizard.
Can you
Maybe.
hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm talking. Yes, I'm going to talk. Well, these bounce around on here.
And try to do this at another time.
All righty, yeah. Yep,
She froze up again.
I'll have Linda come back a different time.
There. Yeah.
No, you just keep freezing, Linda. She's totally frozen now.
Okay, well, we're going to get her back on later.
Time. Yeah.
We will definitely bring you guys back on. So, okay, what a crazy day we're having today.
I think it could be that there's so many people took the day off to see all the exciting things going on today. Now everybody's on the internet.
We've just overloaded it. All the quilters have brought down the internet.
For sure.
Okay, we'll see you soon, Beth.
Thank you. All right, we'll see you soon.
Okay, guys. Well, I will tell you right now, this is not the show we had planned for today. 3 out of 4 vendors were not able to get on. And again, know that we were trying like crazy behind the scenes, and I just have no idea what happened. But we will work on it. We will get both Patty and Suzanne rescheduled. We will get Linda back on as soon as possible as well. And again, sometimes you just have to laugh. So, but before we go, I do want to remind you that we did, have Lisa on with her, and she is doing that 20% discount. So be sure you go and check out her website. Just go to Quiltcraft Sew Mall and then click on Counted Quilts. Again, the 20% off is through tomorrow at midnight. And we'll have to kind of scramble on make some changes on the door prizes. So I'm not even going to tell you what they are because we're going to have to do some realigning on that as well since the vendors weren't able to be on the show today. So, but we will still be having the contest. I guess generally I'm able to get that posted within a couple of hours after the show is over. So be sure you just go right back to the Quiltcraft Sew Mall, Quiltcraft Sew Festival Facebook page. And I will post the winners there just as soon as I get all of that compiled. But Joe, before we go, I just wanted to say again, how much we appreciate all of y'all's support for all the vendors during this tough time. We certainly hope that when you are shopping for your quilt and craft and sewing supplies, that you will make our Quiltcraft Sew Mall your first stop. We are doing everything we can to come up with creative ways for all of our vendors to be able to weather this storm because we want everybody to be there when the shows start again. And we can't do any of that without you guys. So we truly, truly appreciate you, each and every one of you. So we'll be back next Wednesday, hopefully back to normal with all 4 of our vendors. We have 4 great vendors already lined up and ready to come next week. So until we see you again, we hope everybody has an incredibly creative week. And we thank you for everything and for your understanding in our kind of crazy day today. So bye for now. Bye-bye.